All right. Well, welcome everybody. I hope everybody had a great break from UNL, a spring break. If it happened to coincide with yours from school, all the better. But hopefully you were able to get away, do a few things that were fun. At least you didn't have a lot. Well, you did. You had the lesson plan assignment that was due and some work. So, but hopefully you had some fun. Really what I want to do today is you'll see in the assignment description, it's really pretty straightforward and focused a lot on the book. And you will have all gone through and taken the reading and writing course, SPED 815 and 815A. So I really want to focus, a little bit more, I guess, looking kind of making interventions and thinking about kids with writing disabilities. I thought the chapter did a great job outlining resources for you to do, learning strategies that tie directly into explicit instruction. And so I think that combination of where we've been with explicit instruction and the learning strategies, mnemonics, is a really good fit. So this week I've got a couple of writing samples that I've obtained from a couple of students that I was working with on your knowledge and what's in the book and the other resources that I provided to you, going through and really being able to identify what you see as the errors in their writing, and then based on all of the accommodations in the book and again the resources, what are some things you might try? What I'm going to do with this then is I'm going to compile them and then I'll post it on the main discussion board. So that way you guys can look at each other's and get a broader idea of other suggestions, because as you know, in special education, there just isn't really one way to do it. You can tackle problems at a lot of different angles, and that's often what we have to do because of the needs. Kids' needs change and no two students are the same. And so that's why it's very difficult to say this is exactly. Teaching methods, yes. Explicit instruction, yes. But how you address specific learning issues, no. So that's what we'll be doing this week. Those will get uploaded back to me, and then I'll share them out with the group. So what I wanted to do, your next assignment in 2 weeks is the scheduling assignment. And I know I talked a little about it in my last video, but I wanted to go over it again. Make sure if there are questions, you get back to me and let me know what those are. So again, the whole point of this, and if you're in a school, you know this. A lot of you are in the general ed classroom right now, and so your world of scheduling looks very, very different than the special ed teacher's world of scheduling. And there is no way that I can teach you this is how you schedule. There's not one way. It's per school, it's per grade level, it's per kids fitting it in. Do you have ELL? Do they have OT, PT, speech path? There's so many variables. So the only way that I can think to help you think about and learn is having you do this activity. And so whether you're in a classroom or not, you need to meet with a special education teacher. It can be anybody. So if you're in a building, find somebody who's willing to sit down with you. There's plenty of students out there that have gone through our program that really understand the assignment, but get it to them soon because they have to look at case studies and to think about it. So what I want to do with the rest of this video is just walk through this. That's why the question mark is there, to help think through what we're doing here. So let me break it down into pieces. So you schedule an interview, and this is face-to-face. Please do not send this to somebody and say, write this all out for me. That's not fair. You guys all have really hard jobs and spend a lot of hours. So get on the phone with them, meet with them. Just, it doesn't take that long to ask the questions. It's all based on the 2 case studies that are in the back, TJ and Charles. The second, number 2, is that you'll get a schedule from the special ed teacher. Where are their kids programmed throughout the day? If they don't have a schedule, that's okay, but still talk about how then do they know where their kids are. I've been in classrooms a lot to know kids in and out, in and out, in and out all the time. A parent calls, an office calls, where so-and-so. If you can't track them down, that becomes one, you become very fearful at that moment, and two, you don't want to be running around the school looking for a student when the parents are standing there. So you'll get that. If not, talk about why. Number 3 starts when you interview the teacher specifically. So with the 2 students, TJ and Charles, and they'll answer these questions separately. It's a think aloud. So I'm having you go through a strategy that you would use with students and probably have used it. So with that teacher, having them think aloud, what questions did you ask yourself regarding the placement of these kids into special education and general education? A lot of times when new kids come in, they might come through administration, a coordinator, but it's also met with who's the IEP leader going to be, team manager, and then what grade level, and then you start sorting things out. So what questions they start with. Number 2, I would sort this out by paragraphs. Paragraph 2, if you were placing the students in your school, where would you suggest they be placed? Each school is different, so this is going to look different for everybody. In one school, it may be a lot of inclusion. Other schools, they may do more pullouts for groups. How does that teacher think these kids would be best served? Again, thinking about TJ and Charles from their perspective. Why did they come up with this? What kinds of additional supports would they need? Maybe technology, resource. What other considerations did you take into account? Thinking about, the way our school is scheduled, the arrangement of our schedule, the needs of the students. Is there anything else? If they didn't really think about anything else, just make a comment so I know that you addressed it. F, when do you arrange common plan time? This is a huge issue, and some of your special ed teachers will make note of this, is you've got special ed teachers that are serving multiple grades, and plan times don't always coincide. And so one week they may hit one grade level, one week they'll hit another grade level, and that makes it really challenging to plan any kind of, how do we get accommodations in place? What is our schedule going to look like? When do we do pull-out groups? That's a challenge. And so this just has them talking about when does that happen for them to be able to meet, and what kind of barriers might they be encountering. The last section is your reflection. So after everything you've done, and this is again a narrative format, you're writing, summarizing what you've learned, then you're reflecting. What did I learn from this person? What will help me in my future career if I move into special education, or just as I work with general education or special education teachers in my current position? Either one is fine, but I want it reflective. Really be thinking about it. Again, double space, put a cover page on it, and you'll upload it through Blackboard by the due date. So it really wasn't anything to teach you. It's more something, it's a think aloud, sitting with another teacher for you to be able to learn through the process. So that was kind of my goal with that. I know what else I want to do. Just a preview of where we're going. We're wrapping up quick. We have 2 more weeks of content. I'm kind of rethinking how I'm going to have next week look just around content and what kind of content is really being accessed in elementary schools. So we'll cover that. About mathematics, how to assess and teach and support that. Probably bring in some more explicit instruction techniques there as well. And as I said last time, starting on the 20th, you'll have a week to put your presentation together. I think this will be fine. I'm really thinking of maybe some different innovative ways to be able to do this, but just know it'll be a presentation, and you'll be sharing a teaching style, a teaching technique, a instructional strategy to everybody else in class. So it's kind of like if you were walking through a school, walked into a classroom and went, wow, this is amazing. In fact, look, this week I have one that I was doing an observation of a student, and she had this game in class. And I've actually, when I teach this class live, I would play this game. That's kind of what I'm thinking about. But I'm not thinking it just has to be done in a wiki. I'm thinking maybe it can be done in a wiki. You could show it. So I'm going to rewrite that a little bit and broaden it out so people can bring their own kind of creative twist to that. So you're going to have all week to do that, so don't stress about that now. The following week, then you'll go in, and we'll post them in a way that everybody is able to look at what everybody else has put together. My goal is that you can learn, and I think, frankly, steal ideas from each other, what you've seen and what you're doing. So that's kind of the end. We're in finals week. After that, I don't anticipate we're going to be having a final, so that should be good news to everybody. I think we've had a really good semester. Quality has been great. I'm not really seeing the need to, well, I guess I could take this off now. Add anything else back in and test you on anything. It's an application class, and to me, it feels like you guys are getting it. So I don't see us doing anything after the final presentation. So we're kind of on the slippery slope out. So with that, if you have questions, please don't hesitate to email me, let me know. Lesson plans will be due. I'll get those graded as quick as I can with feedback back to you. So have a fabulous week. I will have a video next week as well. Take care.